Welcome to this edition of Purple Eagles Insider. I'm your host, Brittany D'Angelo, and here's your Niagara sports update for this week. First up on Purple Eagles Insider, we have Annie Ibey, freshman on the women's soccer team. Annie, welcome to Purple Eagles Insider.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. So how is your season going so far?
Pretty good. The team's doing well. We're coming together. We're on a 3-win streak. We haven't lost at home either, so pretty good.
I would say you guys are doing pretty well. I mean, with the team record being 5-3-0, it's best record since 2010. I mean, when you think about that record, what do you think has been your team's key to success this year?
Honestly, just as a freshman, I realized like the team's really close and everyone's really welcoming and they just work well together. We have a lot of team like bonding through preseason and we practice a lot and it's all kind of fun and that makes it easier to play.
And then all your practice comes to fruition on that field when you guys are 5-3-0, right?
Yeah, we play well together. I just find we all work together very well. So.
I mean, you're working very well yourself, not only with the team, but also in your individual stats. I mean, you lead the team in goals, assists, and points, and you've been a 3-time MAC Rookie of the Week. Like, when you hear that as a freshman, I mean, you're 17 years old, like, what goes through your mind?
Just kind of, I was really nervous, just the normal freshman worries, and I just kind of take it out on the field. I use it to my advantage and play as hard as I can. I have to use the time I get and I just do what I do best. I don't know.
So what is one fun fact about you that nobody else would know about Annie?
I have a twin and we celebrate our birthdays tomorrow.
So how old are you turning tomorrow?
I'm turning 18.
Well, happy almost birthday. That's
Thank
pretty
you.
awesome. And just last thing, what has been the biggest transition that you've seen from playing high school soccer to playing college?
Competition. Even just on our own team, competing for spots, and every practice is you got to work as hard as you can, and then it shows on the field when you compete against the other team.
Well, thank you so much, Annie, for coming on the show. It was a pleasure having you, and good luck this Saturday against Ryder.
Thank you.
Last up on Purple Eagles Insider, we have Coach Donna, the head coach of the women's volleyball team. Coach Donna, welcome to Purple Eagles Insider.
Thank you.
So how would you say your girls' season is going so far?
So it's been a bit of a challenge because I think we're still trying to figure out who we are with the players we lost last year and the new players that we gained. I still think we're trying to put the pieces together, but we are happy with some of the things we've seen and we're looking definitely to the future.
Well, you guys are definitely on the right track as of recent. You guys did beat Siena this past Saturday.
We did.
So what was that? What did that do for the team's morale?
So that was a very emotional match because obviously their head coach is our former head coach. So the people on our team would not be Purple Eagles if it weren't for that coach. So it was an emotional match going in and it was definitely a battle. And I think for us it was just an appreciation of good volleyball. So we had a good time and we were fortunate to come out on the winning end of a very tight match. So we were thankful for that.
What would you say are your team's strongest assets and what are the things that maybe you guys could work on a little bit more as of this point?
Sure. So I think our leadership is one of our strongest assets. And then one of the things that we can probably work on the most is still just fitting the pieces together. People are still trying to figure out who they are in this team and where their skills fit. So I think if we just continue to work on that and move forward, it will all come together hopefully right when we need it to.
So this is your first season as head coach of the Niagara women's volleyball team. Talk about the culture you're trying to establish at Niagara and what you've done as head coach so far that has made you stand out.
So the first thing I think we're trying to do is instill some positive energy and enthusiasm related to the game of volleyball. It's a challenging game by itself because points are scored when someone makes an error. So we're looking to respond more positively to the errors that the game demands from us. So we pay a lot of attention to court presence and leadership and body language. So that's important. And then I think, which is what I'm trying to instill in them, is that the game of volleyball is going to respond once we present our best selves to the sport. So we work on that every day. We talk about it every day. It is definitely a challenge that they are actively working on, but I know that the skill level that we currently have will be maximized once we can get our court presence to be at a higher level.
I definitely think that skill of the team was also enhanced by the 6 newcomers that you brought on as well. So
Yes,
what have your freshmen done that have really, your freshmen and also your returners, kind of talk about both, what have they both contributed in different ways that has contributed to this team's recent success?
So I think with the returners, they're obviously more familiar with me and what my role was as the assistant coach previously, so they know the skills that I would talk about in the past and the skills that we want to develop moving forward. So I think that's been important for both me and them to pass that information on to the newcomers. And then the newcomers, obviously, we have 2 transfers, so they bring experience playing collegiate volleyball at the community college level, and then the freshmen that we bring in, their youthfulness and their excitement to be here, I think is really important because it's bringing everything together, and then we're all able to grow our skills and move forward as a team. So we look forward to figuring that out in the near future and maximizing our strengths.
Speaking of the future as well, what are your overall hopes and goals for the rest of the season for the team?
So that's an interesting question because we are fortunate in that we are not going to lose anybody to graduation, so we return everybody. And then this is also a season where we make the playoffs automatically. So this is the least stressful competitive environment that we will probably ever be in. So I want them to get comfortable with that and just play volleyball and advance their skills. But I certainly want to get to the point where we're, in the top 4 in the conference, and we're building for next year, and we're competing for wins and battling for matches because we don't graduate anybody. So that's what our focus is just to make sure that we're playing good volleyball and building on our skills.
Well, Coach Donna, thank you so much for coming on Purple Eagles Insider. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
And good luck this weekend. You start at home.
Yep.
You have Saturday against Ryder, and you have Sunday against St. Peter. So good luck at both those matchups.
Yes, they'll be tough, but thanks very much.
Thank you all so much for watching this edition of Purple Eagles Insider. Make sure to visit purpleeagles.com to see all the latest matchups for Niagara University sports for the upcoming weekend, and we'll see you here next week.